We're back again. We're going to be talking more comics.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually had a massive gap between filming this and the other one. So that's
It's a different day.
Different day, different year even. I'm in a different country. I've relocated this room just to have continuity. What we're going to be talking about is the Culling. The Culling is between Legion Lost, Teen Titans, and Superboy. So, I heard you just make a reaction, though.
Okay, so I like Teen Titans, and I like the new 52 Teen Titans. Not so much Legion Lost. Legion Lost are kind of like a shittier version of the Legion superheroes, and they're already a shittier version of, like, Teen Titans. So we're getting, like, third generation shit versus the original. That's what you want.
So, I came into the Culling because I like the Super family. I didn't actually particularly know too much about the Teen Titans, so I spoke to Jesse, who was reading at the time, and I was like, okay, can you fill me in with a whole bunch of stuff? I like Superboy. He can be very angsty at times, which is sort of like, oh, yeah, come on.
I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Why do I exist?
But I don't mind the Legion Lost. I actually read the issues leading up to this because I was like, I have no idea.
They don't matter.
Oh, I know that now. But going into it, and I distinctly remember liking Dawnstar and Timberwolf of the characters, and Timberwolf is just the poor man's Wolverine, so...
Which is a poor man's Yamcha.
Which is a poor man's Yamcha, and if you're a poor man's Yamcha, then...
You're a poor man indeed.
Yeah, exactly. We're just going to go and build up this event a little bit. I'm going to talk about Superboy. So Superboy in this new thing is, you know, he's still a clone. He's not as powerful as Superman, but he has psionic abilities. He doesn't really play nice with the Teen Titans, as far as I'm aware of. And
he's a rebel.
Yeah, he's got his rebel without a pulse, almost. Well, rebel without a cause, definitely. But I'm not sure. For a second, I was like, do clones have... Anyway,
yes.
Okay, I was wrong.
They're alive.
Anyway, so Superboy, he's very much he wants to do his own thing. He doesn't want to be compared to Superman, but the unfortunate thing is he goes around wearing a fucking Superboy.
I'm like, not Superman. You're logo. Wearing his shirt, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It was all they had in the line. I stole it from guys.
If you're dressing up as a police officer and you're arresting people, then you gotta excuse me if I say officer, can you help me? But it's like
but he's a maniac cop.
No, he's not.
Try to mug me.
So that's pretty much him. Just a bunch of angst, and the Legion Lost are a bunch of the Legion of Superheroes who have been stranded in this current century, who might actually be responsible for a lot of metahumans.
They didn't cause the Big Bang because that'd be cool. They caused a shittier version of the Big Bang which just kills everyone.
Yeah, and so, as I said, apart from those characters that I mentioned, ultimately, most of them are forgettable, and I don't actually have many people left.
There's the one guy that's just...
He's stuck in a suit, or...
every sentence.
Yeah.
He's thinking.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's a lot like Skidder from Teen Titans,
yep.
So maybe you could...
Like, okay, so Teen Titans, basically, it's Tim Drake,
yep.
I think, which is the best Robin, in my opinion.
In your opinion?
Well, I mean, there is Damian, but he's just a smaller Batman. It's not really a Robin. But I'd say Tim Drake, he's basically using his Batman money to basically go around the world and find metahumans that are like just teenagers and basically helping them use their powers to like basically like, do good sort of thing. He's basically like the Batman Incorporated, but with more powerful people.
And I'd feel more compassion to him as well.
Yeah, because he's not fucking Bruce Wayne.
So you've also got Bunker, Skidder, Solstice, and Kid Flash?
Yes, Kid Flash, who has a mysterious backstory.
Mysterious backstory, which we might go into in a future thing. But and is it Wonder Girl?
It's Wonder Girl, but you don't call her Wonder Girl because she has nothing to do with like. Basically, she has armor from like because her father is an archaeologist, I think. So like we basically find he's like she's in the same place with her shithead boyfriend. Yeah. And like she finds like this gauntlet, she puts it on. She like I think he just dies because snakes or some shit. And he's like, I'm gonna go because turns out he's a massive asshole because I mean he's a boyfriend of.
He's a teenage dude.
Yeah. So and then so she's basically on the run for the law because I think everyone thinks that she killed him, and she has this this whip that it's not really like a
The lasso of truth.
It's not a lasso of truth. It's just a lasso of I'm gonna kill you.
Okay.
It, like drains your life, I think, or some bullshit like that.
So would you say that any of those are required reading for getting into the Culling event?
Well, the thing is, the Culling, it basically just goes through there, like everyone's like sort of Legion Lost style, like this is what they do, and it's I would read Teen Titans just because it gives you more of a insight into the relationships between the characters.
Okay.
Because it's made for teens, there's a lot of teen drama going on.
Yeah.
But like that, we definitely get into play with the Culling. Culling's more of like let's just see some action and some fighting and stuff.
Okay, so in order to sort of speak more about what Jesse was talking about, I don't feel that you need to read Superboy especially if you're reading Teen Titans.
Yeah.
If you're reading Teen Titans, then you'll know that Superboy already shows up a bit. You'll get the idea of his character pretty quickly, and you won't need to spend the additional money to get involved.
You will need it to know about the redheaded chick.
Yes. So if you do want to, they will explain her decent enough in the Culling, but if you want, once again, optional backstory, you can get it in.
Just kind of read the Culling first, and then if you want to know more about the characters, then go back. But it's not really important.
You don't really have to read Legion Lost Volume 1 because you're going to have the same...
happens to it.
Well, you could have the same feeling as the Teen Titans and the fact that these guys show up and you're like, who are these guys? They just say that they're from a place, and that's pretty much what the volume is. They just tell you that, they're from the future, and that's it. As I said, I don't mind them. They're not particularly great, but at the same time, I wouldn't really prioritize spending money on Legion Lost. So the Culling... It's basically self-contained, maybe Teen Titans, if you're into, a bit more backstory.
You're into Teen Titans.
Yes. So, let's get into the Culling, which is the whole thing that this is about. Would you like to talk about the plot? Because I feel that since you were the Teen Titans guy, you probably retained more than I did.
So, basically, throughout the story of the Teen Titans, there's, Tim Drake is the one that's looking for these metahuman teenagers. Most of the time, he's also fighting with, this other random fucking place from nowhere. It's just called Nowhere. It's an anagram for something. They're trying really hard to make it Nowhere.
Yep.
And it's basically they're also kidnapping teenagers, so multiple times, he gets to a place okay, this is where a metahuman is, but they're gone for some whatever reason. I guess I missed them. So so basically, what's happening is there's this man called Harvest, who is a Birdman, sort of thing.
I'm not sure if we really get explained or told what his
they
backstory
hint at
is.
some shit, and it's kind of weird because you don't know really where. Okay, so let's just not get into that. Basically, Harvest is kidnapping metahumans, teenagers mostly, and he's taking them to a giant place called the Colony, I think.
Yep.
Which is basically a giant boot camp for metahumans. He experiments on them, and he breaks them mentally, and then he builds them up as his Ravagers, which are basically metahuman enforcers. And he's building an army, we don't know what for, only Harvest knows, because he's Harvest.
Oh,
and so, Teen Titans, they instantly get captured, because they're Teen Titans. But Superboy runs off, he gets captured later on. And then Legion Lost also get captured, and then they're all taken to this place, and they're all given shiny new neon suits because the Culling, I guess.
Because
it demands a suit change.
I guess Harvest really has a certain fashion sense, so he's just like, nah, if you're working for me, you
well,
gotta
I mean,
be
if
cool,
they're his
be beautiful.
Ravagers, I suppose he wants a special suit for him or some shit.
Now, who do you think is because it is a big teen book, so you will be seeing Legion Lost fighting Teen Titans, even if it's only for a bit.
Every fight seems a clusterfuck of just random people just appearing.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to... Do you think that since there are so many people in the pages, is it hard to follow sometimes in terms of the battle? Is it just...
The way I did it, it's you really only follow the people that you care about, because usually it'll be two of these guys from Teen Titans and two of these guys from Legion Lost, and Superboy's doing his own shit. But it's it'll be people from every group all fighting in a one section, and then different people from the same two groups. So it's you can still follow every fight scene, just the only people you care about.
Okay.
But that means that the whole page is filled with a bunch of people just shouting shit.
Yeah, I found that for the most part the artwork, even though it looks pretty decent, and I'm not going to really bag out on it here, because they have so many characters that they need to incorporate, you get a lot of clutter on the pages, and you just like really have to really sort of look over it to know what's actually happening. And you just have to take the time to sort of, you know, try and, okay, so this movement's happening here. Sort of take it the fight by blow. And so, you know, that might slow down the story, or if you might require sort of rereading a certain page or looking at it. As for the story itself, I honestly don't think too much of it. This might just be me, but I was getting through it and I was just like, oh yeah, that's alright. Just a bit below average in that part, actually.
Yeah.
Especially because there's a lot of questions that they pose, and I feel like it's really...
Well, it's all building to something.
Yeah.
'Cause, there was a section after it. I think it happened after the Culling, but before Death of the Family, which was the Batman event. Like, they're sort of like, they go... Basically, the Culling is just, it's just a massive push for Harvest and, like, what he's planning. Like, so it's not really its own thing. It's just like, it's Harvest, and like, let's see what happens with him.
So, my favourite characters of this would probably be, once again, Superboy, because I have followed him for a while. Once again, Timberwolf, because it's like, you know, if I have to pick a sort of side, I suppose I'm more on, like, Legion Lost, and hear me out. For the reason that I feel like a whole bunch of Teen Titans is a little bit too, once again, teenage melodramatic. So that's the book, though. So that's just, you know, a personal preference.
Well,
but at the same time, as I said earlier, I don't remember half of the stuff of the Legion Lost. All I remember is just like, okay, Timberwolf said something cool, and that's pretty much it. So maybe that's why the book itself didn't have such a big impact on me. Like, the event seemed to be nothing. Harvest is a cool design, in my opinion, even if it's like, if it's very sort of, I don't know.
It's very teenage design.
Yeah.
It's like, and he has fangs and he's got these cool wings and shit, and he's all black and red.
What about you? Who do you think was particularly good in the story?
I'm a big fan of Bunker.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my favorite new additions from New 52. Skidder was a bit boring. I like Solstice just because she was nice.
Okay.
I mean, like, Kid Flash is a bit shit just because he's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I'm just the Kid Flash. He has no memory, so he has no backstory to care about.
Curiously, how do you feel about Superboy then? Because he's just, you know, Superman, but not.
Superboy is I've read the first issue of Superboy. Like, found like, oh, he was just like you can put in the VR and shit. Like, he has no personality.
Yeah.
He's basically Kratosing it. It's like, I'm angry, I want revenge, I don't know who to put revenge on though. I'm just gonna pick someone at random, you'll do random person. He's not a good guy, because he has no sense of morality. Like, that's one of his traits, is he has no morality, it's just like whatever he thinks he should do.
So, he can be a dangerous clone, and, you know, maybe that would be a story that they would look into in the future.
Yeah, he's a Superman that he just kills people, just because, oh, they're evil.
He's a Superman with none of the wisdom of a Superman. No. So, you know, that's pretty dangerous. So, the Culling. Jesse, I'm thinking it's either average or below average, and I'm not really sure which way to go on this one, whether it's a 4 or a 5.
It's not too, like, it's not a story-driven narrative, it's more of like a combat-driven narrative, and like, let's see what happens when this character has to fight this character sort of thing. It's cross-Tekken of comic books, but with two people you don't normally cares about.
Yeah. So...
Like, so it's Captain vs. Capcom.
It's like, I don't know, I felt... Especially because you know that there was sequel baiting. Like, they're like, we're going to spin off another series out of this. And so I was like, oh, yeah, I don't really... I prefer my stories to be self-contained if possible. And so just knowing that, you know, they're having this whole, you know, Ravages thing at the end, and it's like, oh, we're going to be having, you know, if you want to finish the story, go that way.
Ravages is actually quite good.
Do they actually finish up the story, or like...
They don't.
Okay.
So, the Ravages is basically like, the aftermath of the Culling. Like, it goes more into the characters a bit. Like, characters that's actually from... Like, they meet a bunch of new characters from the colony.
Yeah.
And the Ravages is all about them, and it's less about the Teen Titans and less about the Legion of Lost, who just don't exist anymore, apparently. Okay. They go and do their own thing, I guess. They explain a bit more, but not too much. Again, it's like, it's building to something, but it never happened, because Convergence...
Would you prefer the Ravages or the Teen Titans as a book to read?
I'd prefer Teen Titans because I like the characters more. Like, Ravage is like, they have like maybe 2 characters that are interesting. One's just this. I'm a big lizard man.
Yeah.
And like another one's like
Scientist chick.
I did like he's in the Culling the guy with the razor blades for their hands and the big.
Oh yeah.
He's cool because he's basically like he's insane, but he's like, I just want to do my job and just get done with sort of thing.
He's goal orientated.
Yeah, he has a purpose for being in the fucking thing.
So what are we thinking? We're thinking 4 or 5 for the Culling because is it average or is it below average for a comic book?
Well, for a comic book, it's average.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say it's below average. Like if you want to see a comic book for like the cool fighting, like all the fighting action scenes, like it's doing that well enough because like there are so many different characters and different abilities. Like it's all like unique. I especially liked there's a chameleon girl and she has to fight Beast Boy. So these 2 fucking giant weird it's like a giant gorilla versus a giant like space dinosaur and shit like that.
It was strange seeing Beast Boy is now red, but it sort of makes more sense in terms
of
because
he's in touch with the red. It actually made a reason.
Yeah. So what would you rate it out of 10?
I'd give it. I'd give it 5.5 maybe just because I like the characters.
So it's a bit better than average.
You're gonna read it. You're gonna read it for the characters you like. No other real reason for that. Because
otherwise you'll go into it like me, which is like, as I said, I like Superboy, but not enough to sort of carry an entire event by himself, really, in my eyes. And as I said, I did like the other characters, but not enough to really appreciate or care about what's mostly happening in this event. So for me, I'm going to probably give it a 4.5.
Harsh.
I don't know, man. It's like if someone was to come up on the street and they'll be like, hey, what can you tell me about the Culling? I'd be like, Harvest is pretty cool, I guess, but I don't even know what he was doing.
They do go into it a bit.
A bit, yeah.
It's kind of like basically.
So spoilers.
Okay, so yeah, spoilers. Basically, Harvest is from the future. We
Yeah.
don't know where in the future, but it's kind of implied that he's almost Tim Drake in the future.
Maybe, yeah.
It's heavily implied because he has the same outfit even, and it's like, that's shitty technology because he used technology as well, and like he has no powers. He's just a normalized guy, and like he's building an army for something. Apparently, there's some horrible fucking disaster that's going to happen in the future, which I think
maybe Convergence.
I think it was maybe like the Blue Beetle armies attacking or something bullshit like that. But I got the feeling there wasn't Convergence. I don't know if it was something that happened and then Convergence came along. They had to like sort of change.
And to give credence to your Tim Drake theory, he does seem to know everyone on the team.
Yeah.
So it's like that's interesting.
That could just be because he's from the future, though.
Yeah. So I'm not
like fucking
particularly
Legion
sure.
and everything. And also, Kid Flash, he's some asshole from the future because Team Wolf was like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
Yeah.
Because he's an asshole and like fucking that.
So that was cool.
Random fish guy is like, he's lost his memory. It's fine. Just let him go.
So
also, Skid just disappears halfway through.
Yeah. So to sort of summarize it, the 4.5 for me was because it's really close to being passable in my eyes. I can't remember anything.
It's close to being average.
It's close to being average. It really is. It's just I don't care about any of the particular characters enough to get through the entire event.
There are so many characters you could pick to care about.
I wouldn't reread it. And the art certainly does get a bit cluttered, and that's what I remember most as well. So it's almost average, but not quite. That was the Culling, guys. Thank you very much for watching us just be jerks and talk about comic books.
You're the jerks.
Well, thank you for watching me then. Jesse doesn't appreciate you.
I'm just here for the story.
So he's just here for the story, and I'm just here to say thank you for watching, and until next time, guys, we'll catch you later.